here's what I'm going to do. And this would actually be a case that could be used in case something happens, which would be a heart attack, snake bite, something like that, because I could die sitting at the desk. But this is what I plan to do to go to the Alamo asteroid impact breccia. Okay, here's what I think. Okay, you see this brownish layer here with all of the chert in it. Because remember, I've been here. I was right along here. Uh, excuse me, over here. I was only in here because the cops were down there. So I only covered in here. But see this brown layer, the brown layer, and then the comet layers are below. And the brown layer, and the comet layers will be below. That's what that uh, yellow line is. Okay, so now I'm going to fine tune it. So my theory is, you see the way this looks like this? Okay, that's because the layers repeat. Because this is tilted up, let's say 45 degrees. And so it's broken in here. And so see in here, this is filled, that this is tilted up, and this is tilted up, but it's the same layer. So this, I believe, is this. And the same here. Now, this is too far, so I won't get over there tomorrow, but I've got it in mind. But see that same layer? See how it's dropped down here because of the fault. But see the brown layer that goes along? Now, the white line shows the comet breccia. That's what that white line is. I drew that in a few weeks ago. But see that common brown layer? That's at the end of a devonian after the extinction. For whatever reason, it's brown with the chert stromatolites. See, there's the brown layer again. There's the brown layer again. There's the brown layer again. But then you're talking about hiking, doing like a 20-mile hike into the desert. Okay, so here's what I plan on doing. So since I only saw this and not this and this along here. Here's what I plan on doing. Here's where I'll start out. Not wanting to get caught, I'll start out here before daybreak. I'll park here. Now I'm going to draw the path in. I'll park here. And you're always better bebopping, like see that little trail? And then I'm going to cross country over to here. And through here. In other words, to get over there and out of view of people or prying eyes as quickly as possible, to get out into the desert. Out into the desert. Okay, so matter of fact, right where I'm clicking, that's going to be my exact route. Click, click, and go, and go, and go. Now, notice that brown layer. See the brown layer up here? So that brown layer, the comet layer below it, this right here, that's what that is. That will be above me the whole time. But I don't want to start right out by climbing the flank of a mountain because it's always steeper than what you think. So I'm going to go through, let's continue clicking, go through, work over, and I'm going to come back around on it like this. And see, here's the comet layer. See, I'm afraid to click because it might ruin the path. So see right here, that's the comet layer, right in the center, that bluish looking. See the red? See the red? That's after the Devonian extinction, possibly caused by the asteroid. Okay, it's below it. But see that cliff? And this is the brecciated, disturbed material. Because remember, this was right on the edge of the crater. This area where I'm going is right on the edge of the crater itself. I mean, as close as you can get. Okay, so now I'm down here. See, I'm down here in the desert. Let me do this. I'll go 5. Okay, so here's the breccia. So I go over here. By now it's becoming daybreak. It's becoming daybreak. and I go and inspect this breccia. Now, suppose it's ass-kicking breccia. Okay, well, you think I'm not going to go along there and work along as long as I'm making good discoveries? Of course I will. I can spend a lot of time taking pictures and stuff, but that's the breccia. So I'll go here to show I inspect the breccia, and if I'm making history, sure I can work along, and go back after 5 or 6 hours, like by noon. Let's say finish up by noon. Okay, but suppose I don't make history. Okay, now the next goal is to go over to this brown layer to check this out. Oh, okay, let's do that. See, here's the brown layer, and here it is exposed, and so that puts the there. See, there's the there, I had to find my cursor. There's the breccia. Now keep track of this. Now it comes down and it comes down and it comes down into the floor with the alluvium. Okay, now here's the breccia underneath that alluvium. Okay, so we come along, and there it is. Okay, so I want to check that out. Now here's the brown over here, this little outcrop here. So I want to check that out. So then I'm going to go like this. If I'm not making history over there, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to bebop over here to look at this. So I'll go here so that I don't make sure that I don't miss anything, and work along and work along and work along and work along. And that should be breccia right here, right there, right where I just drew. Okay, so now at that point, I should have got my fill of breccia. Now let's suppose I get over here and it is not the breccia, and that I calculated wrong, that this brown here is not the same as this brown here. I already know it is, and I know there's going to be breccia. Okay, but suppose I go up here and I get skunked, that it's shitty breccia, it's too worn, there's no freshly cut breccia, and it's not good. Okay, then now what I'm going to do then is I'm going to bebop down here. Now I've done enough at that point to not continue out into the desert to this stuff. Also, the black choppers may come after me at any moment. See, when I'm in here, I will be fully visible, fully visible. Okay, so now it's daybreak. By now it's daybreak. And so I come down the wash, come down the wash, come down the wash, come down the wash, and locate the locator. There's the brown material, the cherty material of fossilized sponges and stuff. That's what it is. Okay, and then just below it, there's the brecciated material. Okay, so now I come down, I locate that, and I go, okay, let's finish out with a bang. And then I go here. Remember, last time I only did this little section over here. I didn't even continue over here. I only did this little section here. So I figure, okay, let's go out with a bang. And plus, I'm getting closer to the vehicle, not getting further out into the desert. And then you get bit by a snake. Now you're 10 miles from the van. And that is about how far it's in there. Okay, so I work along the breccia. Let's zoom up on the breccia. And that is what this is. So this brown layer and this cliff right along there. There's the most dramatic breccia. So I work along, and I work along. And I work along. Now there should be some pretty good breccia pictures in here. Okay, so now I cross down and I cross this wash. Now I keep track of my marker layer. The marker layer is this brown layer here. Okay, so I join back up with the marker layer, and by then I'm looking at the breccia, and I know as I approach, if I go here, I'm going to see it. Then I work the breccia, and for the best breccia, then I work along. Now at this point, I join back up where I was the last time, because right here is where I finished last time and I work back. It's pretty steep. Okay, so at that point, that stops all of the new pictures and information and possibly some of my own discoveries. So then I cross over. Now I can't go. There is nowhere else to go. So the only choice is to go back, work back down where I already covered We're already covered, and generally in this case, you're actually it's easier walking to go back to the road. I found to go back to the road and walk along the road. Now, these things here, people don't know what they are. You know why they bulldoze those? So the road doesn't get washed out. So that when the rainwater comes along, it doesn't pick up speed and get more and more and more and then start undercutting the road. What it does is it sidetracks the water off into there. That's why they put those in there. You see them all the time. Okay, so I go along. By now, it's maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon, easy. I go along. I'm walking uphill. I'm tired at this point. I'm tired, walking uphill and back to the van. There's the plan, man. That's it.